Mm, mm, mm. Shit. What's up, y'all? I'm over here fucking shit up right now. I'm trying to fix it. To give people time to go ahead and come up in here. All right, what's up, Takari, Ali, Kenny? So I seen a couple of y'all was telling me about the paid in full thing. I didn't really look in on it. So are they planning on doing like a series with this or something? Because I noticed a lot of y'all are talking about it. So they're gonna do a series with the paid in full. That's very interesting. Should be good. They give us another show to be able to work with. And you're right, BMF. This shit ass. I seen a it's funny. Stop remaking classics. Yeah, but if they're making a series about it, it's a little different from, them remaking a movie. But I do agree. They need to stop remaking shit. But yeah, I know this is old, but I was seeing this interview, when Michael Rainey was on the Breakfast Club and he was like, I forget the girl's name, but actually I think that was just hilarious who was saying this. She was like, yeah, you got two great series. And he said, hold on, one, Bill Belford's ass. That shit was so funny to me. And then Jess Lair was like, well, I'm glad somebody said it. I wasn't gonna say it. Cause it's crazy because at first, even though Michael stayed trolling BMF with Da Vinci, and at one point he was trolling with Lil Meech, before the beef started. But he used to like BMF when doing season 1 and 2. I remember that because he used to say he don't watch a bunch of shows, but he do watch BMF. And I agree with him. Like during that time, BMF was cold during that time, but I don't know what happened. Yeah, he was on their ass. Yeah, Gianni be on their ass too, for sure. Right. That should be funny as hell when they used to be on each other ass. But the funniest shit though, when Da Vinci got Michael pretty damn good. When I don't know if y'all seen this one, but the one when the scene it come from episode 506 from Power. If you can remember when 50 Cent Kanan was meeting Tariq at his school and choked, and he came up to him and shook his hand, and this nigga like did something that had his leg up when he was shaking his hand. And the visual was like, Michael, if you ever shake his hand like and hold your head up like that again, like supposed to be playing a gangster, bro, that shit was so fucking funny. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to get started with the show, though. Yeah, when he stood there like the ballerina. Yeah, season 3 is when the clowning started for sure. That shit, it got really bad after that. Cause like I keep saying, season 3 was really bad, bro. Like if season 4 would have came after season 3, I mean after season 2, like let's say season 4 was season 3, I think BMF would have still been cool now. Cause like I said, season 4 wasn't great, but it was good. You know, you can work with that. Folks have been like, yeah, it may have been a step down from seasons 1 and 2, but you know, we can live with season 3. Cool. Ready to see season 4. But season 3 was just so bad that I think it just killed the show. Yeah, I don't know why that nigga did that, but that shit was funny. But anyway, though, like I said, I'm about to go ahead and get started with the show, y'all. I know I've been away for a little minute, but hey, we back at it. Yesterday, I was gonna start back yesterday, but my mama's birthday was yesterday, so I went out, did a couple stuff with her, and after that, I was like, yeah, glad niggas, y'all got to wait till tomorrow. So we got 4 topics like usual, and we're gonna start it off. As you see, we got Ghost and Ramona. So pretty much with this Ghost and Ramona situation, I'm gonna be breaking down. It's gonna be kind of based off my last video that I had, where I was breaking down how Ramona was possibly Ghost, best actual soulmate, like best pick between the 3, and the suspicion between all the things that was going on between Ramona and Ghost in the end of the season. So we're gonna touch on that. Then go ahead and go to the death of Ghost's father. So basically, I'm gonna be touching on, what happened to him, and I'm gonna give a couple of opinions, of mine, theories of who could have possibly have been the person to take him out and what was the reasoning. Then I'm also going to do an independent video on this topic as well. Then we got the St. Patrick curse. So pretty much on this one, it's kind of going to be a follow-up of the ghost father, the death of his father theory. But basically, what I'm going to be touching on here is the family curse of the son taking out the father. Touch in on it and see what could be the future of, the fate of Tariq, knowing the information that we know, and the details that I'm gonna be giving y'all with what happened with Ghost's dad, Ghost himself, then Tariq, and then when Tariq have kids. And then, of course, I just know one of my damn things didn't load up. Give me a second. I don't know why that one didn't go up here. But lastly, we're going to touch on the 16 episodes. And I actually have a video as well that's going to be touching on this right here. The 16 episodes is because I don't know if everyone in here is aware or not, but originally there's supposed to have been 16 episodes to the original Power the sixth season. So it's supposed to have been 16 episodes instead of 15. But for some reason, we never got that 16th episode. So I'm going to touch on that and we can, discuss what are the reasons why that 16th episode was never aired. So that's our 4 topics. Go ahead and head back to the top. Let's cover these comments. 3 just made everyone tune out for real. The beef killed season 4. Yeah, it did. The fact Stars stopped BMF was worth keeping over book 2. Well, I don't think they thought it was worth keeping over book 2. I don't think that's the case. I think they just decided to do that with book 2 because, like they said, the cost, and they could be clearing some cap space for another major event. Keep in mind, for one thing, in order for them to bring in Shamik Moore, he's going to cost a lot. Not exactly sure what his pay rate is, but he's going to cost a good grip. So that's one thing. And then I also think it's a high possibility they're clearing money to bring back Amari. So I seriously doubt they were like, okay, BMF can hold us up. Because, the ratings can tell you that, BMF is not as hot as Power. You ain't always hating, but praising weak ass Raising Cane. Raising Cane, hey, IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, all the major sites that do ratings and stuff for shows agree with me. All of them got shitty reviews for BMF, and Raising Cane ratings is higher than it. The reason being is because Raising Canaan is better than it, my boy. And if you just simply look at the chat, each time we come in here, everybody will agree, except you and maybe DeMarcus will agree Raising Canaan is better than BMF. So is it hating or is it true? Anyways, though, Canaan and Breeze alleged smoke Curtis St. Patrick. I got something new that I'm gonna bring to the table. So the 16th is from Ghost's perspective, maybe. Yeah, we're gonna touch on that. A fitting end for Tariq would be to end up in the same cycle as Ghost, one of his enemies left alive, coming back to hunt him. His kids turning against, and an old love to break up his family. Yeah, I think we might get something very similar to that, and I'm going to I'm definitely going to touch on that. They should have canceled trash ass BMF if they wanted to clear space. Yeah, they should have. But BMF probably wasn't taking that much money too, though. Think about it. The stuff that was going on with it wasn't too high. And then it wasn't no really big actors on BMF that probably was taking up a whole bunch of money. Like Ghost was. Like, think about it. Mary J. Blige was getting paid $400K, bro. Michael was getting paid $150. Method Man was getting paid $150. Gianni, I'm not sure what he was getting, but he probably wasn't getting paid too much less than that. Rashad Tate ain't, well, Lorenz Tate is not cheap. Then you added Michael Ealy. Come on, bro. That show was very expensive. And then he also said just to close off like the highways and stuff in New York, it cost a whole lot just to block off like the highways in New York. I forgot how much he said it cost to do that, but that costs a lot of money. Opposed to, with BMF, they're filming in, I'm not sure, I think there was a filming in Atlanta for most of it, which is way cheaper. So that's another thing. Is it official that Amari's coming back? No, we haven't got any official news. We're just still people speculating. Raising Kanan definitely better than that shit. Exactly. where where do we get the 16th episode from? Well, I'm gonna touch on that on the last one. That's the last topic. But yeah, there was definitely a 16th episode. Lil Meech was getting paid with BMF chains and fake Mary Janes. I'm not even familiar with that. So I told you, when I tell you I don't give a damn about fashion at all, I don't. Then book 2 always had everyone dripped out. Yeah, that's another thing. The cost to all the clothes some folks were wearing, the luxury cars they were driving. Book 2 was very expensive. There was no 16th episode. I believe that Sax was originally going to be the actual one to smoke Ghost because he was listed as a suspect in the Who Shot Ghost trailer. No, it was a 16th episode, bro. He got to come back. Don't forget about Noma's salary. Yeah, but I don't think she was that expensive. She probably was, if I had to guess, she probably was anywhere between 60 to 80,000, if that, an episode. We watched book 2 Ghost. Do you think Chinadu, Noma's brother, will be Tariq's version of Lobos? I'm actually starting to rewatch book 2 myself right now. Do I think he's gonna be a Lobos type of person? Could be. Very highly likely, I would say. Yep, Mary's wigs. BMF is the first show I didn't like yet. Watched every episode. Lil Meech was irritating as fuck. Casting him was a gimmick. Yeah, and that's another thing. He's a lead that's a terrible actor. That's crazy. I saw the OG Power. It was only 15 episodes. Okay, bro. When I get there, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. Like I said, it was 16, bro. Had to pay Paige Hurd and Woody McClain. Yeah, also them as well. Ramona may have been the best thing to happen to James, not Ghost. Interested to see in how she makes him a better man. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into that. So I think DeMarcus said it best on the live when describing the 3 love interests of Ghost, right? What he said is that Angela loved Jamie, Tasha loved Ghost, excuse me, and Ramona loved James. That's the best way to describe it perfectly because Angela was first. She knew him as Jamie. That's why even throughout the show, she kept referring to him as Jamie because although, he has changed a lot since she last knew him, she kept looking for Jamie because that's the person who she fell in love with. But she, at the same time, had to, learn to accept Ghost to a degree as well. And that's what, they kept battling in between. And ultimately, it took her out. Tasha, she never wanted to acknowledge Jamie. She wanted Ghost because, like she said, she saw him as the biggest goddamn drug dealer in New York City. That's what she came up. That's where they became successful and that's who she married, basically. She married Ghost in her eyes. So it was hard for her to see him become anything other than, who she got to know him as. I don't think she never got to know Jamie. And then, of course, by the time Ramona met him, he had let alone Ghost. He pretty much was legit. He wasn't pushing drugs anymore. He may have still committed some more murders, but he wasn't pushing drugs. He was fighting desperately to try to become, a new man and also, get into politics and stuff like that. James is the legit man that's in politics doing all kinds of things that, even he probably would have never have saw himself accomplishing. But see, what I was saying, like in my last video, well, actually, I just dropped another video. I know a lot of y'all probably haven't watched it yet. But the video where I was talking about Ghost and Ramona, it's a lot of weird things going on with Ramona, people, that I think we just didn't pay attention to while watching the series. And now after I did my last rewatch, I kind of was paying close attention to it. And I was like, you can, if you pay attention to some of the stuff that she was doing and some of the stuff that she said, she came from the rough parts. Like she actually said, Ghost confirmed this on their first meetup, episode 3, which is the episode that Ramona was first appearing on. Later on, her and Ghost met up at his club, right? And he said to her, "I too comes from humble beginnings," right? So that's letting you know that Ramona comes from the hood. And then later on, episode 606, when Alphonse was holding the gun to her face, she said, "You probably think this is the first time I've had one of those pointed at me." That's letting you know that she don't have some experiences with guns being. So that lets me know, even if she wasn't a drug dealer, she was kind of around that life. And that would explain why she was so open to, to just helping James and throw away his, his past and be like, "Look, I know who you were, but we're gonna polish you up and get you right for, to become a politician." And I think throughout, maybe to like episode 9-ish or whatever episode it was, they were to figure out that was like, damn, I ain't gonna lie, Ghost. I mean, she probably was like, I ain't gonna lie, James. There's a lot of shit coming out. It may be a little difficult to, bury all of your past right now. So I believe they struck a deal. Like I told y'all in the video, I believe in episode 10, Ghost was able to figure out then he could trust her after she basically revealed to him that, the reason why her marriage didn't work with her husband is because they had a lot of secrets, but she was like, she don't want to have any secrets with him. So that's when she was able to be like, okay, I'm going to tell you everything. And he was like, you know what? I can trust her. Let me go ahead and reveal to her the plan I have. And that's when he told her, look, I got a plan to fake my death because my son is coming, is going bad. And I think he's going to make an attempt on my life. Obviously, I don't want to, take him out or have him sent to jail. So I think the only way that I could help him and still stay around is to fake my death, get the Democratic Party to back me. Because think about this. They already then announced that he's going to be Lorette Wash lieutenant governor. They can't take that back. And major headlines would have came out that they were having a murdering, drug dealing kingpin as they, nominee for a lieutenant governor. That would have been devastating for the Democratic Party. It would have been very hard for them to recover from that. So he basically forced them to play ball, to bury anything that comes out about that's dirty about his name, keep his secret, help him fake his death. And I think later on, after the dust has settled a little bit, Tariq is done, possibly with the schooling, all of that stuff is over, he'll come back, reveal to everyone he's still alive, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, there was," and like I said in the video, the Democrats can easily spin a story and say there was a major, credible threat to his life, so we had to seal him away in order to make sure we eliminated all threats to his life. So we had to announce that he was dead. They could easily spin that story, and then he later on returns, and him and Ramona show up together. Because that's my biggest thing that I used to always say to people. Why in the world did Ramona just all of a sudden disappear? It doesn't make sense. Every other character that was in power, they kind of got, some kind of closure of what happened to their character. If they were a major character in the show. Now you got a couple of smaller characters that kind of disappeared. Like, for instance, what's the guy that was in season 1 and 2, but he disappeared later on? He was with Julio and them. I can't think of his name right now, but either way, he was only in a few episodes, and he showed up here and there. But Ramona was a major character that just disappeared, and they didn't give you no closure what happened to her, nothing. And the reason being Victor. Thank you, Victor is his name. That's who I'm talking about. Like, Victor only showed up here and there. He wasn't a major character, so you can easily just throw away his character and nobody will really notice because it doesn't really matter. He didn't play a major part to the storyline. But Ramona, like, that's crazy. So that's another major red flag to me that lets me know, holding on, that Ghost is probably still alive and they're gonna make their appearance together. When Ghost show up, Ramona's gonna show up. They're gonna come up together. We can check some of these comments. Ramona may have been the best thing. Okay, I read that. They could have saved that money on Mary J. Well, with that, at least Mary J did bring in a lot of people. So I guess they did get a return on that. Because you got to think about how massive her fan base was. Do you believe Ramona once hopped off the porch back in the day? I'm not sure what you mean by that. A lot of storylines book 2 fumbled on, and one of the biggest fumbles were not teaching Tariq how to fight and not giving us the Kane, Tariq, and Braden trio. Well, I think that might still come. I mean, that story is still out, still could happen. It's not like they got rid of that. But I must say, after seeing that interview with Woody McClain and what's his name, the football player that be doing interviews. The nigga, speaking of that nigga had some very sus clothes on too. I don't know what the fuck that nigga was wearing. But the nigga that used to be a quarterback for the whatever team it was. I'm not a football dude, so anyways, him, the way he broke down, I don't know. It's like he might seriously not be into playing that character no more. I don't know. Like that shit looked kind of crazy. But anyways, Ghost introduced himself to Tasha as Ghost, not James. That's who he portrayed himself as 24/7. I guess you got a case with that. I never seen Ramona as the best fit. I thought she was gonna play Ghost like she did Rashad, but maybe I'm wrong. So I seen a couple of people that said that, right? When I was asking about that, and I was when I on my last live, well, not my last one, but it was one of the last where I was talking about basically who was the best fit between all of his love interests, and people were saying Ramona was just an opportunist, and that doesn't make any sense to me. How can Ramona be an opportunist when, if she was an opportunist, she just would have married Rashad? Keep in mind, Rashad made a proposition to her and offered that. Rashad was the lieutenant, was the governor nominee. He was already in there. and the DNC wanted him to win. So if she was truly an opportunist, it was no reason for her to even try to bump James up to be lieutenant governor when she can have governor already. So to me, that just didn't make sense. And then she was constantly risking her career to help him with certain stuff that, most people, if they were opportunists, they wouldn't have done that. So I just seriously doubt that. I think she genuinely did like him, and she was the person that was the best fit. Because like I said, Angela would have always been looking over her back because of her knowing the information that she knew. Because even though Angela did come from the neighborhood, she was never in that life. You know what I'm saying? So it was hard for her to, especially with her being a federal prosecutor, it was hard for her to accept Ghost. Tasha, it was hard for her to accept Jamie or James. You know what I'm saying? Because he was trying to transition over to James. It was hard for her to accept that because she only knew Ghost. And then see, Ramona, since she was the future, all she knew was James. She knew of Ghost, but she knew him as James. That's who she was introduced to, and that's who she was seeing. And like I said, I believe she came from that life. So that's why it was easy for her to just try to help cover up the stories. Oh, yeah. And here's another thing that I said in the video, and I noticed nobody answered me on that video in the comment section. You remember episode 606 in the final season of Power, when they was doing the fundraiser and they, of course, Ghost staged the robbery, right? He borrowed the $1 million from Rashad Tate. They never showed Ghost getting that $1 million back and putting it back in Tate's fundraiser, right? And then Rashad came and said, how did you do it? He was asking, how did he put the money back? Ghost was confused at first too. Ghost didn't know that shit was back. So who put the money back? Or at least fixed it that, the people who be auditing his, campaign didn't notice that the $1 million was gone. But I believe somebody put the $1 million back in there. If you ask me, it's only one person that could have done it, and I believe that was Ramona. Ramona was a gold. See, here they go another comment. Ramona was a gold digger. How, nigga? How was she a gold digger? She never asked him for money. She never was trying to get over on him. Like I said, if she was a gold digger, people, she would have took Rashad. It doesn't make sense. The best way, and then keep in mind, she just suffered a major blow to her career with her ex-husband. The best way to polish her image would have been to take Rashad. She didn't do that. Her husband was a senator. What's up, Russell? Support game, and I think Kane was originally supposed to die at the end of book 2, but like Unique in book 3, the actor's performance and reception of the character kept him alive. I don't know, maybe. We have to get the trio of Tariq, Braden, and Kane. Yeah, and I believe that's going to happen. We're going to touch on that a little bit when I get to the Curse of the St. Patrick. When I get to that one, we're going to touch on that. So the actor playing Kane claims he doesn't want to be typecast. Yeah, that's what I was just talking about with the interview stuff. I definitely agree that Ramona knew who James was, but didn't care because, unlike Tasha, she believed in his dreams and supported James. Imagine the look on Tasha's face if he left Ramona some money. And that's another thing. Think about this. All the stuff that he was doing with Ramona and stuff like that, why didn't he leave her any money? I mean, maybe you could say because he just met her, but I think he didn't leave her nothing because she's still with him. That's why. I don't know about that. I believe a lot of Power fans will criticize them for not bringing Kane back. Woody killed that shit, damn near turned it into his own show come season 4. He absolutely did. Jane faces death to get away from the ghost curse. Then Tariq takes the ghost curse. Something like that. Yeah. He bowing out of that to let, and then maybe he's going to try his best to help Tariq break the cycle later on. But like I said, we're going to touch on that on the St. Patrick curse. Do you think Ghost sent Ramona letters? Letters like what? Cristobal got arrested in season 5 and never popped up again. I knew somebody would bring it up, but you just answered your own question. He didn't have to pop up again because we knew what happened to him. He got arrested. They gave us closure of what happened to him. We know where he's at. Ramona, they didn't give us nothing. She just disappeared. They could have just said, "Oh, Ramona left to go move to California to be a politician there." We'd have been okay with that. We would have been like, "Okay, that's what happened to Ramona." Ramona, ended up marrying some other guy and just living a regular life. Anything we could have took, but they didn't do any of that. So that's not the same thing. We knew what happened to Cristobal, just like we knew what happened to Roberto. They gave us that. Even though they didn't physically show him in prison with 2 bits in them, Spanky said he saw him, up in there with them. So they gave us closure on it. They didn't give us nothing with Ramona. That theory doesn't make sense. Ghost can come back with no explanation needed, though. What doesn't make sense? Cristobal probably got 15 years, but Alicia dead, so they could just bring him back. Right. And if they wanted to, they could easily bring Cristobal back by, having some kind of typical bullshit that they do to, have him written back in so that he can get out. Mary J killed that shit in book 2. I think Mary J did fairly well. Was she the greatest of actors? Because I know a lot of people criticize her as well. No, she wasn't the greatest, but she was great at what she does. And I'm gonna give you this too, Takari. I know DeMarcus is not in here, but I'm gonna say this. So after rewatching Power again, and I looked closer in on season 6, Lala's struggle on her struggles comes from reactions. She's not good at reactions. She's good at drama. I'll give her that. Like if it's creating drama or something like that, kind of going at somebody, she does fairly well at that. But it's like reactions to things, and like anticipation things, like you're doing something and somebody's coming up behind you. She's terrible at those. Now I'm talking about terrible at those, because like when you're doing a scene and somebody coming, you don't supposed to be giving a reaction indicating that that person's coming and then you reacting to it. She keeps doing that. Like every scene I see her doing something like that, you can tell that she knows somebody's about to come, and you don't supposed to be able to tell that. But anyways, do you think Ramona was involved in the game in her past? In Atlanta, when we say hopped off the porch, it's slang for getting into the streets. Gotcha, because we don't use that in Memphis. Yes, I do. That's what I was saying in the video. I believe Ramona in her past life was in the streets in some kind of way. I do. Because some of the stuff, yes, Cam Newton was the guy with the interview. Thank you for that too. Remind me of what Tamika Washington did on OG Power. She was a federal prosecutor for a while, got fired from that job, then became a, defensive attorney right after. Nothing really special, really. But yeah, Cam Newton is that's the guy I was talking about with the interview. Yeah, it is good to have you up in here too, Ronald. It's been a minute. Tamika was very sympathetic towards Tariq, and I believe she related to the other Washingtons in the Power universe. I believe she is too. Jamie goes James, but what's up, CG? Been a minute since I've seen you too. But he was always stuck in the middle as Ghost. Couldn't make it to being just James. Right. And I think Ramona was the closest he could get to being James. You feel me? Like I think with her help, like also in order for him to try to pull off what he was trying to pull off, he needed somebody powerful like Ramona who had the pull to help bring in somebody like Stephen Ott, you know, that could help him achieve that. So that's another reason why Ramona was so essential to his life at that time, because she could help him in so many ways. Think about this. All of the women in Ghost's life were women that could help him in his life. And so he wasn't into, oh, she fine, let me go. That wasn't, it's like Angela said, stupid isn't Jamie's type. He loves competent women that can help him. And Ramona was probably the best of all of them when it came to that, because she was in the political world. She had she had a brain on her, and she had looks, and she's not tied to, the feds, so that, she'd be always trying to lock up the same people that she's with. So, that, to the point she's contradicting herself, being a hypocrite. What's up, DeMarcus? There you go. Rashad got it from Tariq Bitcoin, man. That shit was so funny. I would have I would have thought he put the other million he would have put the other million he hustled up back. But see, that's what I'm saying though. They never showed it though. You look at Ghost's face after he did that. It looked like he didn't know that the money was back. He was like, damn, how the hell that shit get up in there? But hey, I'll take it. Shit. That's the type of reaction he gave us. Y'all can look at it and give me y'all opinion of it. But to me, the face he was giving, it looked like to me he was shocked himself. You 100 on this one. Ramona didn't seem to care which side of James as Ghost she got. She was down for him. Exactly. She was not trying. I don't know where people get this gold digger, the opportunist, and all that shit from. Nothing she was doing, in my opinion, gave me that. Remember, he told Tasha, Tommy, and Keisha that the other million that Jason didn't take had to be put back into Tate's campaign. Okay. Yes, he said that, but he never put it back. Because he did say that, but I don't think he put the thing back in there. That's what I'm saying. And then think about this. You're saying the other, hold on. I guess it's possible that he did, but you really think that them folks was able to collect? Well, yeah, it's possible. It was a lot of rich motherfuckers in that damn place, in that damn club. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't think nobody put that damn shit in there. I think some, because here's another thing. Ramona also knew that James staged that damn robbery too. Pay attention to when she was having that little brief conversation with him right before Tasha showed up and was like, we got to go pick up our son. You can tell by her facial expressions and the things she was saying, she knew exactly what was going on. But she just swallowed it and didn't say anything. Ghost wasn't even involved with Ramona for that long, and they never even had sex on screen. Ramona helped Ghost to get revenge against Rashad Tate. You putting a lot on this theory with no facts to it. It is, bro. Everything I'm saying is supporting it. Like you're saying to get back at Rashad Tate, she had no reason to get back at Rashad Tate. What you're saying not making sense. She had no reason to get back at Rashad Tate. What vendetta did she have against him? None. She didn't have anything. Rashad didn't do nothing to her. She just helped Ghost because she liked him more than she liked Rashad. That's all it was. How did Kane disappear from the cops was crazy. Yeah. Absolutely. Ghost, dear Ramona, my baby mama ain't shit. What do you think about 50 acquiring the rights of paid in full and made Cameron an executive producer to troll Dame Dash? Honestly, bro, I didn't think nothing of it. I mean, that's 50 being 50, to be honest with you. I mean, it should be a good series, I think. Y'all sleeping on Ramona. Yeah, they are. James St. Patrick could be in Miami with Ramona and Lee trying to get his clientele up with Simon Stern using the club business under a John Doe identity with the help of Stephen I. Very, very likely, I think. Appreciate this super chat. Thanks for the shout out on the video about Mecca. Oh yeah, okay. So you watched it? Yeah, yes, sir. She had knowledge for his next level. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's like a lot of comments. Right, niggas is niggas on this Ramona topic. I don't know. Hey, see, and they swear they say I'm the hater. I'm starting to think it's a lot of Ramona haters out here. That's what I'm starting calling y'all. Since I'm so much of a hater, why we got so many Ramona haters out here? James' fake identity is Lou. That makes sense. That was his daddy name, but we ain't gonna get into that right now. Well, you know what? F it. I'm about to go ahead and get into that now. We're gonna go ahead and head to the next topic because we definitely got a lot of Ramona haters, bro. Crazy. Hold on. Ramona could have helped Ghost pull. Hold on, damn, all these comments. Pull up Michael D. Santa from Grand Theft Auto 5 and fake his death to start over in the city off of everybody's radar. Well, I never played Grand Theft Auto 5, but yeah. You don't think James would get bored with Ramona after a point? Probably not. Why would she? Why would he? I mean, if he didn't get bored with Angela, how the hell he gonna get bored with Ramona? There is something to Tamika's affection towards Tariq. If she is related to D Wiz and Zion, then she would know Kanan and James. Also, Crown Camacho's name was Anton Washington. Yeah, yeah, you lot aren't wrong. They definitely hinted that there was more to Ramona's background. Don't we think it's interesting how she was sneaking around in a red outfit when Paz was saw Ghost with Wire? If Tariq finds out Ghost is still alive, this whole time he just gonna make sure the job is finished this time. No, he won't. That's the thing. If Ghost is allowed to be around that long, he gonna be light years ahead of Tariq. There's no way Tariq is gonna have to just stand down after that. But Tariq red dress slash outfit on females in Power Universe usually indicate the person wearing it is a menace. I don't know. I have to think about that. I don't think they ever gave us where Ramona is from. But anyways, like I said, I gotta go ahead and transition over to this next topic, which is, but that one's pretty damn good. I loved it. Which is Ghost Father. We now talking about the death of Ghost Father. So, as we know, we have very little information on Ghost Father. Now, people have alluded to different theories of who his father could be. Like, of course, myself saying that it could be Lulu. And I'm still not backpedaling, glad niggas. Not yet. I'm still gonna go with it's him because the similarity is just too damn close. They could be just pulling our leg like they were doing with the unique situation, but I'm gonna stick with mine, glad niggas. But what's important is we know that he was killed by some YNs, basically. Some YNs was who took him out. And my most recent video, was DeMarcus' theory that maybe Mecca could possibly have been the one who took him out. Like I said at the end, I believe more than likely it wasn't him because I think he just went to jail because he got popped on some drug shit. But his years do align with it could be him. So I'm not going to throw that theory out, but I just don't think it's true. But it would be wild if it did turn out to be him. But anyways, I think it's so much to this ghost father being killed there. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there for y'all. Matter of fact, Ronald, in case you want to come up, I'm gonna or anybody else that you know I'm familiar with, I'm gonna drop the link. But I think that I think it's also a very high percent chance. And I'm gonna do an individual video on this one too. I've already started on it, but I just haven't finished it yet. I believe there's a high possibility that Ghost took his own father out, people. What are y'all niggas in here laughing at? Hold on. I think I just say that bullshit. Hold up. Ramona used to sell cat in the hood. Big deal. Still got some Ramona haters up in here, I see. Curtis St. Patrick versus Lulu Thomas. If Ghost is alive, would he get back in the game and challenge Tariq or just live a straight life with Ramona? Seems like he would try to get back in to prove he's smarter than him. I don't see him, I don't see him trying to get back in the game, me personally. Monet probably told Mecca about Tariq unaliving James St. Patrick and about Tommy. No, I don't think so. Why would what makes you think that? But I think he just possibly knew the information, you know what I'm saying, and just his on his own. I don't think. What's up? I don't think he actually. Yeah, I don't think she even knew them to tell him. I ain't gonna lie, I believe you. Lou could have got drunk one night and smashed the chick he forgot about. Lou is the player type to smash a girl by accident, but Ghost Mom is the one that could come back. Yeah, man. Folks are acting like that stuff just don't happen. Skin tone and having a drinking problem is not enough similarities just to justify paternity. Hey, it's more to it than just that, though. Y'all must ain't seen my video when I literally broke down everything these folks.
I have seen it because he's an alcoholic and that's about it.
No. Well, first off, not just because he's an alcoholic, they both alcoholics. Also, that we got confirmation that Ghost's father is an alcoholic. Just saying. But they mannerisms is the same, bro. Like, look at, like I said, them folks didn't dress the same. They both stay reading and shit. What's another? They both wanted a night. They both so happen to have a club. Come on, bro. What else? I'm telling you, don't make me start unloading on this. What else? Like, even down to the science where they both be jacking people up, and then when they jack you up, they both fix your clothes after they don't jack you up. I don't know nobody else on Power does that but them two.
Okay, so all that's in the DNA. That's what you
Yeah,
say.
it's DNA exactly. But let me go down to some of the more of these comments. Is Ghost dad last name St. Patrick, or did James take the name on? I don't think his name is St. Patrick. I believe Ghost had his mom's name, and he kept it because, like I said, I believe that Lou had a son that he just didn't know about, and he later on figured out that he had. He probably gonna come up here soon because you spoke him up. Y'all talking about IMDb. 4 possible suspects who killed Ghost Pops: Kanan, Breeze, Ghost himself. 3, some randoms. 4, Uncle Gabe. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive in on why I think it's Ghost himself, people. I think this is going back, and this is kind of touching on the St. Patrick curse thing too. They kind of coexist together, because if you pay attention to Ghost's reaction when Uncle Gabe was talking about it, he was basically looking very guilty because either he himself did it or he was involved with what happened to him. Like, maybe the people that ended up taking him out were people he knew. But also, I believe it's possible that he was involved because of, it seems like it's a curse thing being passed down. Because think about this. If he did, and then Tariq took him out, and then that vision, because this was going to be in my video that I was coming out with. You remember episode 405 in Book 2 Ghost, the final season, when they were showing that little, that hallucination thing. What did the son of Tariq do? He shot him at the end. He said, you knew it was going to always come down to this. Remember that. Why did he say that? And then remember also, Kanan in episode 615 of the original Power, he came as a hallucination to Tariq, and he told Tariq, you knew it was going to always go down like this. And then also, remember this, episode 10, that same season, Kanan showed up as a hallucination to Ghost, and basically was talking about how his son was, don't hated him, and that, he was going, what he deserved was a handcuffs and a needle and stuff like that they were saying to him. I think me personally, now y'all can say I'm reaching with this, but I think it's got to be something too that Kanan showed up to both of them at the same place. And then they so happened the hallucination scene that Tariq gets so happened to be he's wearing the same, suit as Ghost. And there's another hallucination, and this time it's his son. showing up to him. So I think they're showing us that this is a pattern. It's some kind of curse that is going on with that family, and it's a cycle that needs to be broken. Because Ghost did it to his father, now you tried to do it to Ghost, and now Tariq, your son, is going to do it to you. They even had in that same hallucination scene, you remember, it had Diana take a shot at Tariq, and then it even had Cain take a shot at him too. And I believe that the hallucination with Cain in it is representing the same thing that who Canaan was for Ghost. I think they're showing that, look, the same shit that happened to Ghost is going to happen to you. Why? Because it's a cycle. So that's the reason why, like I said, I believe it's a high possibility he took him out. Keep in mind also, he was talking about how people were being in his way. He already told us that his dad was telling him to, get out of the game and stuff like that. And he also told Tariq, my father told me to, to let this life go, and I didn't listen. And he's telling Tariq, I'm trying to protect you from a life of misery. So basically, the same thing that he was doing with Tariq, his dad did to him. And I think that's the reason why he was able to see Tariq's next move coming, because he did it. He was seeing himself. Matter of fact, it was that same scene. Matter of fact, let me just pull that episode up. I want to pull that up real quick to show y'all. That's how he was able to see it coming, because it was I believe he seen his younger self unfolding before his eyes. And he was like, damn, bro, like this shit is happening again.
Only person that could do that is you. You lost me a long time ago, Ghost. You did that shit yourself.
Hey, you can't say that shit to me, Rick, after every fucking thing I've done for
You
you.
ain't never did a thing for me.
Hold on, it ain't
Ever.
It's great.
I'm out.
We ain't done yet.
That ain't the part I need to see yet anyway, though. It don't matter. Why is it showing this? That's really crazy. I don't understand why it's showing. Oh shit, that's why. All right.
Get back here. Son, I said get back here.
We're not fucking done. Everything you do is always for you. It's always about you. You're so fucking selfish.
You come in my place of work, a place I built for you, you call me selfish, then run out the street and sell drugs with your moms? I know what she got you doing, son. That's the best you can do. With all the intelligence, Tariq, all the advantages I fucking never had, that's the best you can do, a fucking drug dealer.
It's the best you could do, right? That's the best you could do. If it's okay for you, why ain't it okay for me?
Listen to me, Tariq. When I was your age, I thought it was the right thing to do. My father tried to get me to turn my back on the streets. I didn't listen. I don't want you to make the same mistake, son. Okay? I'm trying to protect you, man. I'm trying to protect you from a life of misery, son.
I ain't your fucking son.
You are my son, and I'm your father, and I'm always gonna be your father.
Listen to this. Stay away from me and stay away from her. I ain't gonna say that shit again.
I ain't gonna say it again. Watch your fucking tongue with me.
Put your hands on mine one more time, and I swear to God I'll murder you myself. I promise you that.
Y'all see how
You
he
can't talk to your father that way.
Don't get it twisted. You might have given me life, but you were never my fucking father.
like you can just tell from how he's doing, bro, that he's seen he knew then. He was like, yeah, this little nigga too far gone. I'm gonna have to do something about it. What's up, Bezzy?
What's up, Jay? What's up, Ronald?
Hey there.
So what you're telling me is that Ghost opened his club out of guilt.
You say he what?
He opened his club out of guilt.
Open his club out of guilt?
Yeah. Cause remember the first episode, after he opened it, he like, see that pop? Your boy Diddy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I believe so. And also, here's another proof that makes me think that he took him out himself. He remember when Raina was killed and he felt guilty about the Raina situation. He never could go back to her room. Remember that? And he never went to her grave either. That shows me another pattern that, you know, once he feels guilty for doing something like that he feels responsible for, he stays away from. You can't go to that place. Because remember, when he first went back to the club with Uncle Gabe, he said he hadn't been there in years. And Uncle Gabe asked him, why didn't you come back? I haven't seen you since your dad died. And I believe the reason being is because he felt guilty because he did it himself. And that's what he was just trying to tell Tariq about the scene I just showed with Tariq. He'd been through it with his dad.
You got a point, because I was thinking about that conversation. Once he asked him that, he straight deflected and said he went to go live with Tommy. Remember Tommy, the only white boy in the neighborhood? He straight deflected the answer. So you got a point.
Yeah, because and even on that scene, you can see it in his face. He looked very guilty.
Well, I said this is a much better theory than that loose stuff you was talking about. Much better. I can get on board with this one, especially with the Gabe conversation. And he didn't see him again, after his dad died.
Hey, I'm gonna get you on board with this blue one too, so don't worry.
So basically, Gabe is somebody that Lou's gonna meet down the road and open the club up. He's gonna practically consider a brother. Because from Courtney Kent's interview, she said Gabe isn't his actual brother. So like one of those, they were real close.
Yeah. They not blood brothers.
Okay, so you really haven't said what the motive was, though. I mean,
For him taking him out?
Uh-huh.
So I think the motive is I think when he was trying to call the police and the boys there was bad news, he was the boy. But Gabe never knew that he was part of that crew. See, Gabe seen the crew, boys that was around. He didn't know that Ghost was actually running with them. And then what I believe happened is when Ghost's dad was fixated on calling the police on them, they told him, look, something got to be done with it. And I think Ghost made the decision like, look, if somebody gonna take my dad out, it's gonna be me. Nobody else touching me. So he went and took it upon himself and took him out because he was in the way of his future.
Now that was his same reason for killing Breeze, though.
Yeah. You pay attention each time somebody's in the way of Ghost's future. What does he do? He's a pattern. He did the same thing to Kanan. He just sent Kanan away, though. He didn't kill him, but he got him out of the way. Mm-hmm. The only one he didn't do that to really was Tommy.
I got a question. So, you saying Ghost was running with the people that was trying to extort his father?
Mm-hmm.
I would think the people that was actually trying to extort him would be a little older.
I don't know, because it's perhaps Breeze could have possibly been part of some of those people. Breeze was actually Breeze probably during that time was what, roughly 22 maybe. And think about it, Gabe is significantly older than all of them, so he's gonna look at all of them as boys because they're very young to him. At that time, he's probably in his 40s, mid-30s, at least mid-30s, pushing 40, and then they 19, 18, 19, 20ish, they boys to him.
It would make sense for his father to get killed after he met Breeze.
All right, let me read some of these comments.
I kind of agree too with the comment D made in the chat about Ghost indirectly caused his dad's death. I think that's more likely. That's why he left and never looked back.
Even if that's what I'm saying. I believe it's possible he pulled the trigger himself, but if he didn't, he absolutely was involved some kind of way. Like maybe something he did caused it. Either way, he feels guilty from it because something he did is what happened. Is what led to it, even if he didn't pull the trigger himself.
Okay, I kind of agree with the indirectly thing. I'm leaning towards that it was Breeze, but I'm leaning towards Kanan actually didn't have anything to do with it. If you remember, I believe it's a picture of Breeze with somebody else getting out of the car with him from supposedly season 5. That could be who Breeze went with to kill Ghost's father.
Hold on, say that last part again.
Remember, it was like a picture from season 5 with Breeze hopping out of a car with somebody that could have been like Breeze's right-hand man, who Breeze could have went with to kill Ghost's father to try to get Ghost closer, like more into the streets.
I got you.
Because with his father out the way, it'd be nobody in the way stopping him from being what he wanted him to be.
Curtis probably turned down the offer to go into business with Pops and his drug business, and he had him killed.
I don't know who asked that.
Snaps.
You really think Pop's gonna act the Snaps and Pop gonna
last
that long?
Didn't unalive Curtis St. Patrick. That is so predictable and repetitive. All right, hit this nigga go. Lose temper is really just like go. Yeah, that's another one, Ronald. Their temper is very much alike. Absolutely. And then think about it. They even killed people for the same reasoning. If you pay like they and all here, there's another thing. They both had they taste in Latino women. Think about that. And then when he took out Crown, it was very similar to how when Ghost took out Terry Zip. And they both are rage out of nowhere and just snap on somebody.
I personally believe he's gonna kill Terry Silver regardless. He just used Tasha to
I'm
find
trying
him.
to split myself right there. I
Hey
believe
man, he's gonna kill Terry Silver regardless. He just used Tasha as bait to find him.
I agree with you. I think that nigga was out of here regardless.
Because Terry
that,
Silver was
gave,
gonna do some all case stuff.
that just gave him more motivation to want to do it.
I'm gonna enjoy this, kid. Wait till this
And they
bitch
both
wins.
want to get out of the game. That's true too. Off memories in Raising Kanan season 4, I think Lou said something like, "Don't see shit, so it ain't shit." Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, I picked that up too. It wasn't the exact same as what Ghost and Tommy and them be saying, but it was similar. What they be saying is, they didn't see shit, didn't say shit, so it ain't shit. But yeah, Lou said something very similar to that. Tariq fits where like Lou and he had the little boy, he was Officer Thomas. That's true too. I think they was telling us something right there. Yeah, Ronald. When he was Officer Thomas, technically he is a Thomas. Watch Power Origins pull
Well, Lou got some strong genes. I said that.
Watch Power Origin pulls a book to Ghost bullshit.
Yeah, Howard too.
Turns out Ghost Pops was a white dude, hence the last name being St. Patrick. It's an Irish name like Ephraim. They better not do no shit like that, bro. Anyway, there's a lot of comments here. I'm sorry, I can't read all them out. But I would drop to the bottom and start here. If he couldn't, well, I don't know what that's referring to. The exact same style, maybe that's where he got his intellectual smoothness from. What if also Ghost and Tommy took personality traits of Breeze after he died? It would be lazy writing if Ghost unalived Curtis St. Patrick.
Yep, it would.
I could see it being lazy writing, but let's be real, bro. Couldn't y'all say the same thing about maybe the
possibly yeah.
I mean, and then think about it. If Ghost actually survived, then that would be one of them that it didn't happen. Think about that. And I think if they show Ghost survive, it would be perfect for them to reveal that Ghost survived, which I'm pretty sure they're gonna do. Ghost survived before revealing that Ghost killed his own dad. Because it would throw you off. You'd be like, okay, Ghost survived, then maybe he didn't, And then people, contrary to what people may think, people's memory loss is people forget shit very quickly. And I hate to say this, especially our community, forget shit very fast. Like something could have just happened, and then we'll forget it like in a month, and go back to doing the same shit that we were doing. So if they did that shit again, folks will be like, nah, that ain't gonna happen. And then boom, they hit you with it again. Cole Brown was not out there extorting anybody with those loud clothes. Like we discussed it in the past, I think it makes more sense for Breeze killing Curtis there because we didn't want Curtis taking Ghost from them.
You bugging. Cole and Tommy was out there extorting.
Ghost watched Pops die in front of him like Tariq watched Raina die. Yeah, I remember we did that theory, and I still think that's a possibility. Unless it was Kanan who set it all up from jump, and Breeze take out Ghost pops. Kanan lied again to make Ghost kill Breeze, or Kanan did it to make them enemies with Breeze. So Demarcus, you don't never reach with none of your theories. Come on, bro. You be reaching too. All of us reach. It's just certain niggas reach further than others. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Like my nigga Nate, that nigga be reaching for the sky. That nigga be reaching his damn.
I got a question, Jay.
What's that?
Just kind of food for thought. Okay, so these drug boys that Gabe was talking about, we assume that this was part of the crew that Jamie was in, right?
Yeah.
We're assuming that they were all up under Kanan and Breed, right?
I believe so. I think it's.
So
I think
would they be trying to extort from one of their own members' daddy?
Yes. Yep. Because I made a video on this. Breeze, they told you.
You got a video on everything.
Breeze, that he said, as long as we agree on business, we agree on everything. So if he see that shit as business, he don't give a damn whose dad is. He'll extort his own damn dad. And think about this. More proof to what I'm saying. Look at what Tariq did. It's genetic, people. Look at what Tariq did. He extorted Ghost and Tommy. He did that shit with Vincent. So why would it be surprising that Ghost did it with his dad? Think about that.
We're just gonna have to see. I think it's more to the daddy's story than even what Gabe was talking about.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. And that's why for me, I know a lot of people are saying that they not that interested in seeing origins. For me, I'm very, very interested in origins because it got so many stories like what we're talking about that's unanswered that we want the answer to.
Mm-hmm.
And origins is going to be the one that tells us all.
Oh shit, a car. We got more pussy in that back seat. Back then, Kanan kept us in line, made us men.
Yeah.
That's why you're here.
You saying Ghost ain't allowing nobody to store his own dad? What if he's doing it himself, bro? And he just never knew it. Think about it. I don't think Tariq will allow nobody to store it. Ghost and Tommy, if he wasn't getting nothing out of it. I'm telling you, bro. It's the same shit. I could see that too. They probably did want the club to try to clean some of their money. I think the crew Ghost was running with killed Gabe. He's ruthless.
Gabe's still alive.
He would do anything intentional to his dad. I think Curtis isn't his biological father. I think they will give a curveball. Curtis is his stepdad. That would make sense too. Let's say Lou is the real dad and Curtis is the stepdad.
Oh goodness.
Hey, what if this shit turned out to be right? I can't wait to. It's gonna be a lot of niggas on my list for that. I'm telling you, that shit turned out to be right.
I should have stuck to my theory that Rock was Lou's mama, but we didn't like that one.
But that's crazy.
Just,
that's impossible. Actually.
No, I could put that together just as good as you doing this.
No, there's
Louis Ghost daddy thing. Yes. She called him son a few times.
Rock is 34 years old. How can she possibly?
She could have had a child at 11 or 12.
No,
we
man.
know she. We don't. She had Kanan. She had Kanan
when she was 16,
and she had an abortion before that.
Lou is older than 5 years. He is more than 5 years older than Kanan. That is crazy.
All them actors are too old for the characters they play.
Well, we know that, but those are the actors.
Well, not all of them.
Who's the biggest hater? Rico, Ronnie, or OG Kanan? Huh? Who is Rico?
From book 2,
And I know he's not talking about the plug Rico. How was he?
unless you're talking about Rico from Paid in Full. Something.
Yeah, maybe. And OG Kanan wasn't really a hater, I don't think. My opinion, I didn't see him as a hater. I mean, if we're gonna talk about haters, we gotta throw Kane up in that motherfucker.
Nah, yeah, that's big
That
hater.
his hands up. Yeah, you talking about him paid in full. Okay, gotcha.
I like that I used to like that theory too. That Lou's
I mean, if
mom
we don't go with that, we're gonna-
that Support talking about.
Maybe Ghost wasn't that close to his dad when he killed him. He hated him just like Tariq hated Ghost when he shot him. Yeah, I think I can see something like that too. You know, he hated the nigga and he just took care of him. All right, we're about to go ahead and go to the next one, though. Transition over. We was slick here on the. We kind
To
of
the St. Patrick curse.
a little bit too. Yeah, the St. Patrick curse. So basically, what I'm talking about, like I said earlier, in this St. Patrick curse one, I believe it's gonna be a cycle that Tariq is gonna have suffered the same fate as all of them, unless Ghost is alive to stop it. That's what I believe is going on there. Because that hallucination scene, like I touched on earlier, I think that's basically what it was showing us. That this nigga is going to stay in the life. And eventually, if he had, that's the reason why Tariq decided, you know, he can't have a family. I think that he's seen it coming. He's trying to avoid that curse of the St. Patrick's. He's like, yeah, now I don't seen that shit already. I'm gonna just not get involved with anybody. But here's the reach for me. I think him and Diana gonna find their way back together, some kind of way. And
I
it's
don't think
still,
that's a reach.
yeah, it's really nice.
They was set it up. They was setting it up.
She want her baby with Tariq.
Now, when he had the hallucination, she was still carrying the baby, right?
No, they
No,
had
she was actually the one that she was saying you lied to me.
yeah, because he was saying that he'll be out and stuff like that, but you know he was still in the game. I actually got a clip because when I was making the individual video for that, I grabbed that clip. I got it right here.
Then one to do this for another time.
You lied. You promised me that you promised me to Tariq. You promised me. You promised me that you get out. You promised.
They say it's a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part.
What are you doing here, son? I'm in the way of your future, right? You do the shit you can never go back.
And right here, also, I think when he takes the shot at his son, and you know it's an empty clip, I think, and now y'all can say I'm reaching here, But I think that's indicating that he's gonna try to stop this from happening. And that's what him taking the shot means. But as you seen, the clip was, it was empty. And then that's when he said, "You can't kill me. Nothing can." Because basically it's saying there's no way to avoid this nigga. You stay in the game, this is your fate. So that's why I think this is like a curse between in the St. Patrick family that has to be broken some kind of way. And I think the only way to break it is somebody is gonna have to give up the game and not be in it. You can't be playing both worlds. And Takara, you saying no with the
Drink
dad?
that latex
I'm telling
predator.
you, it's gonna happen. Tariq is gonna end up with Lauren. Okay, that's what you think. I'm telling you, it's gonna be Diana. What?
It's gonna be Diana, but
It's gonna
Lauren
be
is
Diana.
definitely his. That's definitely his Angela.
And then he's gonna have the same struggle that Ghost had. Like everything that Ghost struggled with, Tariq is gonna struggle with, and he's gonna later on see everything that his dad went through. He's gonna, and then keep in mind, in season 6, Ghost told when he was talking to Tasha, he told her, we're gonna get him through school and through college, high school and through college, and later he'll learn to love me again, but it won't be today. So I think
All right,
Ghost is
Ghost.
playing the long game, and he see all of this coming. He's like, I get out of the way for a while, and then once I come back, Tariq would have suffered all of the shit that I done suffered. And he's gonna be able to then look at me differently and be like, damn, I'm not gonna lie. All the shit that I hated you for, I found myself doing the exact same thing. And I understand why you did it. And then I could see them doing something great with Legacy after that. Because I also could maybe even see Ghost finally embracing himself and be like, you know what? That's who I am. and then he ultimately pass away trying to protect his son. I could see some shit like that. I think that would make because they got to give us a better story for that ghost storyline. What they gave us is unsatisfactory. There's no way, you can't give us that.
Nothing can. Not when you're at the top of the game. Who the fuck are you? I'm everything you could be once you stop doubting yourself. Stop pretending that people's rules and expectations apply to your life. And be the man that your father was always afraid to be. You knew it'd always come to this.
So, like he said, you knew it always come to this. And I believe they're showing us there's no way to avoid it. Nigga, this is gonna happen. Diana even tried having his baby a second time. She definitely spinning the block. That's a fact. It's gonna happen. Theme diabolical of Diana, dirty Diana all day. It was a setup that way, princess of the Tejadas and prince of the St. Patrick's. Right. Absolutely. And then here's another thing. If y'all remember during book 2 Ghost, it was some set pictures, right? It was a picture of Diana with a baby. Remember that? But we never saw a baby in book 2 Ghost this last season, right? And I believe that's because they canceled the season and changed the storyline. So that lets me know that they had a storyline where Tariq and Diana is going to have a baby. They just postponed it. That's what I believe. And it's going to happen later on.
I never saw a clip of the baby.
No, it's a photo of it. It was a set, like when you know how they be releasing behind the scenes pictures. It was a picture of Diana holding like a little baby doll. It was a little chocolate baby doll. So that was showing that, why else would they have that if it was nothing, never a scene where a baby's supposed to come. I could see him getting with Diana as a safe bet, but really wanting someone outside the game, just like Ghost, maybe Lauren. Yeah, I absolutely could agree with that. I think that's a possibility. In the hallucination scene, Tariq equals Ghost, Lorenzo equals Tariq, Diana equals Tasha. Lorenzo equals Tariq. Okay. I forgot. Lorenzo is the kid's name. Gotcha. I was so confused. I was like, what? Tariq is gonna end up with Lauren. Okay. One of my favorite scenes in book 2, when that big rich town start playing all slow and dramatic, a nigga getting his biscuits blown out. Tariq is the latex predator. Tariq take intentionary changes between Diana. His hallucinations meant Diana was in the game too. Hallucination meant Diana was in the game too. Well, according to the hallucination, it looks like she wasn't in the game and she wanted him out. But obviously, that's changed since her mom's gone. Lauren not coming back like Angela is gonna be a fool. I think her ass is gonna come back. I ain't gonna lie to you. Lauren gonna come back years later, just like Angela. Yep, that's what's gonna happen. Donna acting is weak and she's not very attractive. That's cap. That's cap there now. Now, if you want to say her acting is not the strongest, I can agree with you. She's not the strongest of actors, but I don't think she's weak. And that's super cap saying she's not attractive because she is. She's not. She's gonna knock some new hoes and then settle down when he runs into Lauren again. Team Lorenzo, Lil Poppy, Tejada, St. Patrick. Right, Diana's very pretty. I don't know what this man talking about. You saw the baby. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They had a little behind the scenes thing with the baby. So that, like I said, I think that's gonna happen. And it just got postponed. So once Tariq gets done with whatever this thing going on with Tommy, and he returns back to New York with his new operation, I can see something going on where him and Diana is gonna hook back up, and this time they're gonna have the child.
Question on the snitching topic, even though that ain't the topic right now. But would it have been snitching if Diana would have just pressed charges against I don't remember her last name, but Officer Felicia?
Would have been snitching if she pressed charges on her?
Yeah.
Not really, because you're doing that shit to the cops. You turn the damn cops in. Fuck that. Snitch on the damn police for doing dirty work. But like I say, everybody got their own definition of snitching, bro. Like the shit's changed now. Cause like for me, snitching is when you telling on somebody that meddling and stuff that ain't got nothing to do with you. So or somebody doing something to you and you going and reporting them and stuff like that. But to me, civilians always had the ability to be able to do that. I mean, they're civilians. That's what they're supposed to do. A rat, to me, is when you basically get jammed up and you tell them some information to get your ass out. I mean, it's kind of in the name. That's what RAT stands for, run and tell. So
True. I mean, but I label a rat and snitch the same thing.
to me, a rat is motherfucker that's snitching to the police. It's different.
Or to save themselves.
Yeah, you snitching to the police, telling them information to get yourself in a better position. Snitching is just telling in general. And support, when you say look that video up, what video are you talking about?
I think you're talking about the baby clip, isn't it?
Diana pointing the gun at Tariq reflects that clip of Tasha shooting Ghost. Look the clip up on YouTube real quick. Oh, that's what you're talking about. So it's interesting that you brought that up because I was going to do that anyway. So just give me a second. That's part of the last topic, which I'm actually about to go ahead and transition over to.
I won't let you take my son.
So let me go ahead and go to that. So the last and final topic of the night, the 16 episodes. So when I first was talking about this, a lot of people were saying, what are you talking about with the 16 episodes? Some was even trying to say that it wasn't 16, and it absolutely was. How do we know this? We know this because Amari Hartwood himself said it out of his own mouth that it was. And what I believe happened with that situation is originally Amari supposed to survive, or maybe originally Tasha supposed to kill him. I think one of the two is happening. Because why else would they have 16 episodes and don't release that last one? To me, what makes the most sense is that they didn't have Amari on the contract because of the dispute that was going on. As we do know that was going on. So if you don't have him on the contract to use him for the next Power series, it doesn't make sense for you to release the 16th episode saying he's alive and we can't use him. So that would make the fans be in theory, like, why is Ghost not on the show? And y'all showed us that he's alive. It would make more sense for them to just make us, keep wondering whether he's alive or not. And then eventually, once the dispute has been settled, he pops up. But look at how much ratings they've gotten off just showing, certain things, making it seem like, damn, is he alive? Is he alive? And all of us constantly, wondering. But anyways, I know a lot of y'all probably wants to see it. So I do have the clip where Amari was talking about there were 16 episodes.
You got the clip?
Yeah, I have it. I'm about to play it.
Okay. Because I thought he was talking like that was the plan, not that they actually filmed another episode, but you got the clip.
me go do a movie. I did a movie with Nate Parker, American Skin. Had to lose some weight real quick, had to gain the weight back, and then finish 3 more episodes of Power. We are now finished the 16th episode of season 6.5. I call it that because prior years, except for season 1 stack, we were 10 episodes. Season 1, 8. So final season 16. So season 6.5. Frank Fleming, who's phenomenal, he was the show's clothing designer.
Yeah, that's it. So as you say, he even repeated it. 16. It was 16 episodes, people.
Play that again.
Me go do a movie. I did a movie with Nate Parker, American Skin. Had to lose some weight real quick, had to gain the weight back, and then finish 3 more episodes of Power. We are now finished the 16th episode of season 6.5. I call it that because prior years, except for season 1 stack, we were 10 episodes. Season 1, 8. So final season 16. So season 6.5. Frank Fleming, who's phenomenal, he was the show's clothing.
Yeah. So he said it was 16 episodes. And it always, to me, felt like that there was a missing episode because it was too many holes in all of the ones that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
So it would make sense that it was a missing episode.
So what was the point of all these last 5 episodes with the different perspectives?
Well, I think it was just to give us some nice suspenseful episodes and then drop the bomb on us finally at the end that he survived it. I think at the very end of 16, they was going to reveal that he's actually alive. Because, all those other ones, starting with what? 12. Well, no, even on 11. Even 11, they said that he was dead. They just finally showed it somewhat in 13. And then they purposely left, things like the blood puddle in one of them, and then no blood in the next. But they're purposely showing you this on purpose to let you know that this stuff didn't really happen. And then also, like Support was talking about on Support was talking about with the image of, there was a clip where Tasha shot Ghost. And it looks very similar to the shot where she's in the car waiting on him. And I'm gonna see if I can find that. I didn't have that one already prepped up, but I'm gonna see if I can find that one real quick.
The one I seen with Tasha, it looked like she was at the same spot Tariq was at. In truth,
Really? I thought it looked like she was in the car to me. Maybe that's what it was. I haven't seen it in so long, but I mean, maybe so. Let's see if that in. They probably done got rid of that shit though. They be doing that.
Bakari, you right about that. Thing was definitely who shot Ghost instead of who killed Ghost.
Yeah, that's true.
I remember I remember being in New York City on New Year's Eve before those episodes aired. That shit was everywhere. Who shot Ghost? Who shot Ghost? And Kenny, I knew it was where Tariq was at because I remember her saying, I won't let you hurt my son or some shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I remember her saying that.
I remember that shit too. I'm trying to find it, but I don't see it.
Yeah,
like I said, they probably got rid of that shit.
Because I wanted to look all of them up. Because supposedly they filmed one for everybody. Dre. I wouldn't believe that you'd film one for Paz. I can't see that.
Right.
Can't see
But
Tommy either.
I
For
am
real.
gonna pull this up though, because it looks a lot to me. From what I can remember, I thought it was the car thing. You might be right. It was in the club. Like I said, it's been so long since I've seen it, so I don't really remember. But it looks like, hold on, when you the scene where she kind of points the gun a little bit, like she's preparing herself to shoot him. It looked very similar to that.
The Marcus, if we were sleeping on pause, she would have snuck up on Tariq, and nobody would miss him.
It looked just like this when she was right here. It looked just like that when she was holding the gun. I know that. I remember that shit. So, like I said, I don't know. Maybe, perhaps, like I say, it could be so many different alternatives, but it could be possible that maybe the scene that they showed us in 15 never happened at all, and it was actually Tasha. But I doubt it. I think Tariq possibly did actually take a shot at him. He just survived it. Shit.
So maybe you can clear this up for me. I haven't rewatched OG Power. So James wasn't expecting Tariq on the balcony.
I've actually rethought this a lot in my head. This man done found it. Hold up, my boy found it and said it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but Ronald started
Send
talking,
it
so I'm
to
like,
you.
I'm gonna just let him finish.
I'm about to put it out. I'm about to show it on y'all. Show it so everybody can see it. But
Now,
yeah,
what
this
is
is the
this?
one I was talking about.
Yeah, everybody found it.
I don't know how the hell I wasn't able to find it. Probably because I didn't look long enough. But
Good looking, y'all. Oh wait, so then support posted the link too.
all right, so here we go.
I can't let you destroy my son.
Okay, it was. Yep, that's the one I remember.
I can't let you destroy my son.
So that's it.
So what was that? That was never aired, right? Or what
No,
was that?
no, it never aired.
Okay, not Tariq question. He wasn't expecting Tariq.
How did y'all see it immediately? What did you what did y'all look up? Maybe I put in the wrong thing in the search engine. But go ahead. What would you say?
My Tariq question about the balcony. James wasn't expecting Tariq, right?
Yeah. So what I was saying, I've thought about that situation a couple of times. It did look like that's not who he was, because obviously when he was sitting there, it seemed like he was waiting on someone. It did seem like he was a little shocked when he saw that it was Tariq. So I probably would agree that he probably wasn't expecting them. He was expecting Tasha. And that's probably the reason why he had that wheel set up that she don't receive anything. But later, he ends up finding out that this nigga Tariq was coming to do it himself. He's like, damn, this little glad nigga got more balls than I thought he did. And then, but either way, I think it's still the same results. That's crazy though. With that scene there, it kind of looked like she was shooting down though, right? It didn't look like she was shooting like straight forward.
It didn't even. I don't even think she took a shot. Honestly, how she looked, it looked like she actually got shot. Like she looked like she was shocked.
So
Yeah, I think
if he faked his death or planned all this or whatever, I still, the plan has never been clear to me how that plan would have worked. Because he would have had to plan somebody shooting him, and he would have had to plan to fall over the balcony. And when he hit the floor, he hit the hell out of his head. So I've never that balcony piece.
so. This is what I'm glad you brought that up. So this is what I also was gonna say in my other video. I'm starting to go with that. Maybe he never even fell off the map. It's possible he was on the floor and got his ass shot. Man, I know that that's what we seen on 13 and on 13 and 15. But like I said, throughout the last 5 episodes, everything that we saw has been very inaccurate. Like this scene, it looks like this, but this scene, it looks like that.
Going back,
I don't think it's impossible to fall off a balcony and live.
hey Jack,
he probably been hurt. Yeah.
I kind of want you to pull up the scene from 6:15 from when Tariq does shoot Ghost, like the whole scene, because it does seem like Ghost walks towards Tariq before he actually shoots him.
He does. That was what I was finna bring that up too. He moved away from the balcony rail.
Yeah, and then on top of that, like before then, when Tariq was when he got the gun and was putting it in his bag, and one of the waitresses or whatever from Truth walked past him and said hi to him, you see, like it looked like she looked back at him, but the camera blurred out so we couldn't see her.
Hold on, say that last part again.
Like it looked like when Tariq went and put the gun back in his bag, when he walked past one of the waitresses, when he first went to talk to Ghost and said, "You really want me to turn myself in?" It looked like one of the waitresses looked back at him as she walked past him, and the camera blurred out.
I remember that.
And also, Tasha did also tell him go back and get it, before your father checks the cameras.
Yeah, that's another dead giveaway, if you ask me.
Yeah,
he said,
I'm pretty sure he checked the cameras way before every time.
Before your father finds it. Yep.
Talking about he won't, but that was way before all of that other stuff. So he had time to find it.
Like I said, you can, and Takara, I know you saying that you can't, you're gonna be more than hurt. No, bro, trust me. Folks done fell from further than that before and survived. It's very possible. Now, would they be seriously hurt? Yes. And like I said in another video before, I think it's a possibility that maybe even he was in a coma. Even he could have possibly been in a coma for a long time, and then later finally woke up. What you laughing at?
I guess because I saw what DeMarcus said about we into these hypotheticals, and when I be thinking about these shows, I be thinking about what we actually know and trying to make sense of what they've shown us, But it doesn't make sense. They built a whole show around this kid thinking he killed his dad or at least shot him.
And they also kept on leaving in loopholes all the time, alluding to he might be still alive too. Did they not?
Well, that was
Yeah.
that the
A
audience
closed
created.
casket.
The audience
No, it was
created
not.
that.
Oh, that
A
was them.
closed casket funeral for a chest shot.
Come on. They made sure at the front, if they want to make sure without a doubt that you knew he was dead, they would have showed him. They could have gave him an open casket. Even if they didn't show us the viewers, they could have had them just looking in like they viewing the body. They didn't have
They
to
didn't
show
even
it.
have to. Yeah, they didn't have to do open casket. Somebody could have seen him at the morgue before they went to the lawyer.
Yeah, they could have did that. They could have did like how they did Angela. Actually, what at her funeral, they showed her foot. They could have did that. Show ghost shoes. You know what I'm saying? Letting you know a body is in the damn casket. They didn't do that. Also, come on, the letter that Tariq got. I knew you
Knew
end
you
up here,
end up
little
here, you
nigga.
little nigga.
Right where you belong. Come on, bro. They did it on
Yo,
purpose. And then
it was
Yasmin,
one of the funniest moments.
right, one of the funniest moments of Power for sure. And then
Wish
the
it was in his
Yasmin
voice.
question,
Yeah,
it said had anything happens with that looks like that no immediate family is available for her. She was to be adopted and her name changed
and
and
records
the family,
concealed.
all that. And even Tariq said he really planned all of this ahead of time. Even he was questioning that shit.
hmm
You can
And
see it
then
in his face. You're like, damn, is this nigga really
then
dead or what?
later on in season 3, when he was talking to Tasha after she
Yeah.
shot Monet, and he talking about, I need all of that money and power. Your father tried that. That's what got him killed. He didn't do that, right? Ghost was a lot of things, but he wasn't stupid.
Uh-huh. So they did that. The fans only went with what they gave us. So that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, they did it. They absolutely did. And then on top of that, what are we talking about? Amari himself said that they asked him to come back. He said that out of his own mouth multiple times.
Well, they definitely left the door open. I'm not saying they didn't, but I guess I'm just kind of tired of the whole thing. Bringing back
They need to just go ahead, bro.
It would
give us a death notice.
it
Or
would just
something.
have to make sense to bring him back, though. Him coming back just has to make sense. Just can't have him pop up. And it's like, yo, what?
And a dummy in his place with red food coloring as blood. Re-killing a robot. And
Support.
I think it's possible that he could have what he could have done. He could have put, some of those. He could have put rubber bullets up in the gun. That's something he could have done too.
And then I believe that's Dre's body in that damn casket. Closed casket funeral. Nobody gets to see the body. Dre's body is claimed by the state of New York because he was in jail. Ghost has pulls. Shit, Dre wasn't getting a funeral anyway.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
You know how I am about timelines and dates and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now we know book 2 Ghost only covered a couple of years.
Yeah, roughly 2.5 to 3 years.
Not even 3, not even close to 3. Okay, it covered
Two and
2
a half,
years.
about two and a half.
Just like Raising Canaan only covered 2 years and 4 seasons. It was 2 years.
Raising Canaan
Um,
really only covered 1 year.
well, it was 91 and 92. We in November 92 at this point. But and the thing about both of those series, each season would pick up right where they left off.
Uh-huh.
No time jumps and all that kind of stuff. And so we also know Force in book 2 is not in sync. So they gotta deal with these, close that gap. If Tommy and Tariq gonna be together with whoever, they gotta get those 2 timelines synced up.
Yeah,
That
so
I agree with.
that's another reason why I've been telling folks that I believe um the Miguel and Tommy storyline is not gonna last long. Either Tommy's gonna take care of him very quickly, or they're gonna, like certain people said, a truce might happen. Whatever it is, it's not gonna take. I don't think it's gonna go on very long because they have to do some time skipping in order to make it line up with the book 2 timeline.
ACG. That shit was not only 2014 to 2015. If you go back into what, season 3, when it was Ghost popped up on Tasha at the school. Actually, not even popped up on it, but the little career day. It said 2016.
Yeah, Power actually went by each year. They the year went by with them. They actually kept up with the years. If you pay attention, when Tariq made it to college, it actually said 2020. You know,
Mm-hmm.
then he was class of 2024.
That's true. And he ain't made it to graduation, so it's not 2024.
But see, but up until season 2, book 2 Ghost was keeping up with the same thing too. It's the new writers who fucked that shit up. How I know that is because one of the scenes I just played earlier today, when Monet was talking to Mecca, and she was saying it's been 24 years. 24 years coming from 2022. You that would leave 1998, which is the year Zeke was born. So that's letting you know that they're keeping up with the same years. Because season 2 came out in 2002. I mean 2022. So them new writers just messed everything up with so many different things. It was crazy. I think, another thing I think could have possibly have been done that maybe they was planning to do is season 4 possibly supposed to have the graduation, maybe. But after they did the council, they had to change the storyline. Because they said that Braden then was 20 during season 4. And he should have been 21 already. If it was, and then they were still juniors as well.
Going off of Ronald's question, you think like Force to get any extra 5 episodes or so to try to keep up with the timeline?
Hold up.
And Tommy went back to New York twice on book 2, didn't
He went
Yeah, he did.
he?
Yeah.
Because he went back and ended up faking his death.
yeah, but that'll be before Force because the
And
end of
then
season 1 of
Kate,
Force is
Yeah, and then Kate was back in New York too when Diana went to her door with the letter.
Mm-hmm.
So either Kate hadn't left to go to Chicago, or did she go back to make a trip back to New York?
She had to have made a trip back because book season 1 of Force was at practically the end of season 2 of book 2.
Because Tariq confronted Kate
And,
also.
and
Right.
Kate was already in Chicago in book at the end of season 1 of Force. And then season 2, the first episode was like 3 days after the end of season 1. So I don't think Tommy ever went back in Force yet. So he never actually went seeing Tasha again in Force, I believe.
Yeah, the last season for sure didn't have no storyline.
We got folks talking about The
Oh,
Wire
yeah.
and Omar and Brother Muzon. See, you never watched The Wire, Jay. I keep telling you need to watch this series.
You know what? That's one of my things to do to watch next week since I got a whole week off from work. I'm gonna
The
watch The
Wire,
Wire.
and you'll see where all this stuff comes from. It's set in Baltimore, and it just shows the different systems. See, I'm looking for Origins to be kind of like season
Here's more
season
support.
4 of The Wire.
I got a lot of shows to cover as of now, but you know, I'm gonna give The Wire a chance too, because I did start looking at the side, so I am gonna give it a chance. But that means I got to get another damn subscription, which I hate.
The Wire
That
should
means
be
I'm gonna get what
on The Wire is
HBO.
probably on different platforms.
Well, from what I saw, it's on HBO and what Paramount maybe.
I don't got Paramount. I got HBO.
See, I don't have HBO. I'm
They're
mad I
about to
had to get
charge me
Netflix.
in a couple of days.
Got Netflix. I got Stars. I be finessing Hulu.
I need to get on that.
But yeah, I'm gonna share another thing that's basically related to this 16 episodes thing too. CG hit me with that. I remember me and him had a private we was DMing about this when it first happened, and this is more proof that it was 16 episodes, and you know they didn't tell the story that it's supposed to be. But you know him and Delm and Amari had a conflict, so they didn't air it. So if y'all can see here, let me play it. Let me actually play it because it's a video as well.
Go out with a bang.
Here we go. We're exterior terracotta lot.
It wasn't about us being gangster. It was just also he could figure another way to get out.
Fuck.
Yo, if they play that recording for the cops.
No, I said fuck. Exterior cemetery. Moments later, she approaches Raina's grave.
Cut the bullshit. You need to stop selling drugs.
Oh,
period.
wow. Okay. So suddenly I'm the fucking criminal.
I release you from our marriage entirely, Tasha. Go ahead, be Tasha Green, the half-smart chicken head who never would have left the hood if it wasn't for me.
Fuck you.
Okay, fuck me.
Look at the paper.
Right.
Look, under Yaz's rabbit.
Right.
That one, that's it.
The fuck is this?
I told you she wasn't built for this shit. She ain't about the life. I warned you.
You lied to me.
You let me think it was Ghost when it was you this whole time.
What would you have done? Would she still be alive if you knew she signed those papers? Take care of Yaz and Tariq for me.
You took my family from me, Tasha. The kids deserve better.
Even if you don't.
And he leaves.
This is an ending that we go out on a high, we go out on a bang.
They say this is a big rich town.
We did it, man. On behalf of the cast and the crew, we thank you. We're so humble. See y'all later.
So y'all see that?
Welcome everybody to the 6:15 and final table read for Power.
About to go out with a bang.
Here we go. We're exterior terracotta lot.
It wasn't about us being gay.
So y'all seen that. And now you also see right here on the side. You see on the side here, Amari commented and said completely untrue. Please don't try to make true. That's another thing about Amari. This nigga speaks the way he almost speaks like he's from ancient times. If you pay attention to him. But basically, as you can see, he's saying that this is not the truth. And I think he's alluding to this wasn't the final table. But they're trying to sell to us that it is. That's what he's alluding to here. And also, in this same thread, it was a lot of different comments of people saying stuff. And the stars, what you see here, the Power Stars Network, they was liking a lot of comments. They did not like Amari's comment. they left it. They just left it there. And I thought it was funny as hell. Like Amari still be going at them, and that's another thing that kind of makes me lose a little hope that he's coming back, because I think Amari might be a little bit too on the what you would call conscious side for them, that they don't like it. So I think he could possibly be some kind of, he's a little bothersome to them. They're like, nah, he's a great actor. We like him and all that, but, he's doing a lot.
You have to carry the company line.
Yeah, that's true. You can definitely tell by at the table read, Amari didn't look like he was into it. Like you see, everybody else was excited. They was into it. And he was the only one like, man, this was bullshit.
Just casually reading the lines.
Yeah, he was just exactly. He was just reading them. He didn't put no kind of enthusiasm into it or nothing. He was just like, fuck this shit. You have dead chicken head. Like, bro, like this shit.
I meant to say you have to toe the company line. That's what he's not doing or didn't do.
What are y'all talking about with teaching the game? Where the hell that's going from? Yeah. Set a judge out of that drug in daycare was funny as hell, boy. Where would Ghost fit in now, since Tommy left the enforcer role behind and now in charge? It don't matter what Tommy do. If Ghost come back, he's second in command. That nigga know that. Although Tommy has shown a lot of improvement. But honestly, I think if Tommy was to be number 2 to somebody, it would be Ghost. Because I think he finally realized that him constantly trying to do shit on his own is partially the reason what ended up happened. Because he kept accusing Ghost of shit that just wasn't true. And like Ghost told him towards the end, you can't function without me. Even if you hate me, you need me to do it. So Stars is like Hollywood. They want Amari to bend over to what they want. Pause. And he wouldn't do it. Yeah, I think I absolutely agree. I think that's what's happening. And I don't think necessarily it's 50 Cent, but 50 Cent only can, do so much. The Stars executives are still the ones that's controlling everything. So I think he didn't like he's definitely expressed, that he didn't like the fact that they had a son taking out his father, especially with the type of person he was. Oh shit.
When you coming to Memphis, Jay? I thought you was coming
I'm
to
in
Memphis.
Memphis right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been here a minute.
Well, why you do this so late?
I be doing a lot of things.
You in Pacific time. You got me up at 2:00 in the morning.
Well, honestly, I still haven't even gotten used to being here because even my eating schedule is still the schedule I would have from LA. Like I'll be eating like around 8, 9, 9, sometimes even fucking 10 o'clock here.
Mm.
And that's because, usually it'll be like 6 or 9, 6 or 7 o'clock where I'm at.
See, my job, I deal with people all over the country, and I have to juggle 4 time zones sometimes. It's Pacific is I don't like Eastern time either. That hour messes me up.
I guess I'll be all right because I eat at all different times of the day. I'm already used to eat.
But anyways, though, I'm actually gonna do a morning show as well. So I'm about to go ready to close this one out. We had 2.5 hours almost now. I might start him up since he said that. I did think about it. Maybe instead of 11:30, I'll start at like 10 probably. But when the other shows that I'm covering start, I'm gonna have to adapt because like I say, I'm gonna cover Reasonable Doubt, and I think they episodes come out at 12 Eastern time, just like Power does. So that'll be what 11 here.
You watch Beauty and Black too, don't you?
I do, yeah. I'm gonna cover that one too, but it's just a little different with that one because Netflix will release all the episodes all at once.
Mm-hmm. I like the Debbie Morgan character she playing on there.
I like a lot of the characters there. I actually really like I love Richard Lawson's on there too. I think he's doing a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Lawson's doing good. The guy that plays the Horace guy, he's good. Yeah, it's a pretty good piece. Like outside of the only thing I don't like about it is the extra shit that that extra rainbow stuff that's going on. But other than that,
Oh, all the shows gotta have it now.
right, which is crazy. But other than that, it's a pretty good show. If Ghost does come back, would Kane be afraid of him like he was Malcolm? Hell, he should. But I don't know. She needs to cuss Tariq out on Power like she do on there.
Somebody asked about all the Queen's men. That's wild too. Crazy.
Anyone seen all of the Queen's Men? Heard is all right. So I don't watch it, but my girl was watching it, and I kind of seen certain portions of it. I'm gonna say this, and folks can say I'm sexist about this or whatever. I'm not. I don't care. I don't like to watch too much stuff where they're showing women being over masculine because it's an agenda being pushed, and I don't like it. That's just my opinion of it. Like I like rock and stuff like that, that's all cool. But it just, they just the way the world's moving is they're literally trying to push our women to become men and men to become women. Like they're doing too much of that.
I'm a agree with you on that. Too much, it's too emasculating.
Yeah. Like we don't the shit's getting old. Let it go, bro. Like we get it. Certain women are phenomenal. Like there is certain women out there that are strong, that are able to hold their own in certain fields and stuff like that that men typically dominate. But they're just trying to push it way too heavy. Even in the music, all these masculine women talking about this bull crap. Like I got love for her and stuff like that, but we got one homegrown right here in Memphis, Tennessee, that they're using to push that same shit. Glorilla. Like they pushing all this masculine energy for these women. You got so many of them trying to challenge men and stuff like that when it's much more. They don't understand that you'll have a much better life if you just embrace your femininity because you have way more power in that. And see, that's kind of like what I like with to a degree with certain characters that's like in these shows and stuff like that. If they're a feminine character but ruthless at the same time, I can rock with that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're capitalizing on what your strength is. Like women, a lot of women I feel like don't understand that you can get a man to do a lot more by being feminine than trying to be masculine and force them to do it.
Yeah, by being submissive.
Yeah, like you just being submissive, you giving him everything he wants, making him feel good and stuff like that. Then you slowly, wind it up and ask him, hey, I really need this and that and that. He'll be running to go do that shit for you if you did it that way, opposed to no, nigga, I don't told you I needed this and stuff. You still ain't doing your weak ass. That's gonna make the nigga say fuck you.
Rock is my favorite character in the Power universe. But you kind of Sal Baselli kind of summed her up nicely when he just asked her, "Why do you have to act so tough all the time? Because you're a
right
woman in a man's world." But my biggest disappointment in Raising Canaan is that we haven't got enough of Rock's backstory. I thought we were gonna get that with the mom and the dad. We would get more about how she
perhaps this last season is gonna give it to us.
Maybe on her deathbed she'll confide everything to Kanan and
yeah
we'll get some stuff.
Because I also was just a little bit. Like I don't want them to do too much with it, but just give us a little bit of an insight of their dad too, because they kind of touched on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would be cool to like just them show us a little bit of like what it was like when they were kids and actually show him. And I think they might give that to us this last season. Rock is trash because she's smashing you dudes with finesse.
But that's where we saw Rock's vulnerability when she did, get with Symphony and Unique. She really let her guard down with Unique.
Yep, she did. And you actually pay attention, she didn't want. She was making excuses for him. Because Lou, Marvin, and Stefano wanted to take Neek out, but she kept on getting in the way with it, making excuses, saying, "Oh, we don't know the play, we don't know this." She was saying that because she still loved that Neek.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't want to kill him.
I mean, Stefano did say what you gotta let your feelings go.
Yep. But after he said what he said to Lou, that's when she was like, "Nah, this nigga gotta go. Nah, he'll disrespect the hell out of me."
She even called me daddy.
She was done after that shit. He said that I bet you she didn't tell you that I hit that a couple times.
Yeah, big sis, she like it
He
a little
said
rough.
I was tapping that ass. That's what he said.
Oh, okay. Well, either way,
Yeah, that's definitely how he said it. I
he was
bet you
like,
ain't even know I was tapping that ass.
she even called me.
Big sis, she like it a little rough.
Oh yeah,
She
that
even
shit.
called me daddy.
Lou didn't even know how to respond to that shit. He like, damn, right?
Since when you back in the fold anyway, Lou? Last I heard, you done turned pussy and was sucking on the glass bottle like a hoe working the last dick left.
Damn, this nigga remember lines good as hell. I thought it was just me to know the shit. I don't even remember.
Nah, me and my friends be talking about that shit because we be laughing at that shit. So some of the lines be funny, disrespectful but funny.
As hell. But yeah, that's part of like being a good actor. That's one of the major skills, being able to memorize lines fast like that.
How long you gonna be in Memphis?
Probably at least another month actually, because I'm assisting my mom with my stepdad right now. He going through physical therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Once that's finally out of the way and he's better, I'll head back to LA.
She definitely loved Neek more than she did Symphony.
Yeah, she did. I'll say it was neat. But she did, save his life too. Because remember, they were saying, since he actually knew some information, he was a loose end. But she decided to let him live.
And then just the two actors just had almost, it seemed like a natural chemistry that she didn't have with the guy that played Symphony.
Well, I would say that was purposely done because they kind of was cut from different cloths, like two different worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Like Symphony wasn't part of that life. See, Unique, he was part of that life, so he understood her, she understood him. So it was kind of, almost like some kind of crazy heaven sent type bullshit where the two psychopaths coming together doing some bullshit. Yeah, it sucked too when after he pulled up on her with the ice cream and shit. He was like, she was like, we felt something.
Mm-hmm.
And then Neek didn't want to hear reasoning. So, question, since we just own this, and like I said, I am about to end this. Do you think if let's say the bosses, New Jersey boss and stuff like that, approved him to take out Rock, do you think he actually would have did it, went through with it, or he would have pulled back his punches too?
Come out unique.
Mm-hmm.
But he did get approval from Russo.
Later, I'm talking about like when he first saw it.
Yeah, I think he
Oh
would have.
yeah, I think so. He was crazy. The power of suggestion had took over.
Yeah, he probably would have.
Mm-hmm.
He's CG now. I think they decided to show us Rock's pregnancy because with that storyline because she believed Unique was dead, so that's why she got rid of it. Now, if she knew that he was still alive, I believe she would have kept it.
And then they give us another abortion, and then that's the end of that. She had an abortion before, and then nothing else about it. That's one of them. What you call it, Jay? When they
I think it was
don't
more
close,
so to
don't
go
close, don't
into.
close the loop on something.
I think they was just trying to show us how she really felt about him.
You say that again.
Well, I was talking about just to introduce another abortion. Okay, because she had one before, but we didn't get any details, nothing else about it.
Okay.
And
So
Hez was saying they did that to show how she really felt about it. Is that what you're saying?
Felt about Unique. Like they were trying to show us how she felt about Unique.
what are they talking about in here now? He said the nigga would have smoked Rock with no hesitation. Which female character has a good balance of femininity and strength? That's a hard balance, especially if you've been through something. Well, if you ask me, let me see who had the best balance of femininity and strength. Um, let's see. Hmm. You ask me, it would have to be honestly probably Tasha. I know a lot of people in these comment sections probably gonna be disagreeing, but it's probably Tasha.
My mind was going there too, either Rock or Tasha. I was thinking
That
about
that was gonna be my second pick, Rock. But the reason why I gave Tasha
Tasha,
the
yeah.
slight edge over her is because she was married. So to me, they give her a slight edge over Rock. The fact that she was married, had a husband, and they had a family instead of just one child out of wedlock. And then you actually took out the husband. See, Tasha was never she was, for the most part, she was always against harming the father of her children.
Mm-hmm. Then Tasha, did she actually screw Sean, or was it just implied? I can't remember. I
Oh
know
no,
we didn't
she
see
actually
it.
did.
She
Oh no,
definitely
no, no,
did
no, no.
multiple
It was like
times.
two. It was like two scenes, 2, 3 scenes.
Yeah, yeah.
We saw them in bed together.
In the
Nigga,
shower.
in the car, in the shower.
Well, I remember when she was getting off in the car in the back seat, but
now later on the next season they did smash in the car.
She cheated before James did, right?
Yep.
Okay.
A lot of women try to argue that he didn't, but nope. She definitely did. Anytime you exposing your body parts to somebody, to another man, you cheat. Regardless of what your reasoning was. And then later on, for her to actually go through with smashing him, they let you know that there was some kind of emotions there.
Joe said he smashed Keisha.
Look at Ali talking about no, she didn't. Yes, she did. I tell you, the women try to go against that, but she definitely did. You cannot Ghost never made a move on Angela until after episode 4. Tasha did that shit. She did episode 1.
And like 20 minutes into episode 1.
I'm still hung up on Tamika because she had something to do with two shows, and in book 2, I mean, she was there with didn't she take Unique out to see Tasha and Yaz?
To read to see Tasha and Yaz?
Yeah. I mean, she was always siding with Tariq and kind of looking after him.
She was. That's true. Yep.
But she did.
Last time we seen her.
She did something in OG Power. I want to know more about that character because
she was the one that made Angela head of the DOJ. Yeah, she made Angela head of the DOJ. She was actually the one that took the fall for the whole.
Phone number can be for business. Now, if you want to add in that he did some emotional cheating because his intentions was that, I can talk with you. But you just getting this nigga's a businessman, club owner. You gonna get numbers. You're gonna exchange numbers all the time. But she actually showed body parts.
Yeah, because he was in that rearview mirror looking.
And then on top of that, it's who you did it to. You did it to somebody that actually lived with y'all. That you supposed to be looking at as a nephew. Mm-hmm. But you over there doing that. We ain't finna do this. Y'all both tripping.
Tamika was Sack's attorney.
Yeah, she didn't do nothing that helped them in the original Power, but in book 2, she definitely did a lot.
Mm-hmm. Because she knew what Tarika did, but
she kind of knew the whole thing. She knew from the beginning, kind of. She was able to piece it together that it was Tariq who did it.
Mm-hmm.
And that
yeah, because remember Tasha, Tamika, you're fired.
Because remember, she was like, I can't remember, was she talking to Sax or who was she talking to? But she was saying that, if we don't do something now, Tariq is going to become a bigger monster than his dad ever was. She was taking.
She was talking to. She said that to. I think she said that to Tariq. She said you're going to be a bigger monster than your father ever was.
No, she wasn't talking to him. She was talking to someone. She said that he's going to become a bigger monster than his father ever was. Now she was telling him that he could be smarter than he ever was.
She got to show up in Origins. Origins or something, yeah. We're
It's very
gonna
late to see. I don't know about
we're
origin.
gonna get D Wiz's brother in season 5, right?
We don't got 100% confirmation on that, but I would hope so. I hope the rumors are true.
But that's a prominent character that we've never seen, and or even his
The
name.
Margaret said she was talking to Jenny Sullivan and said,
Okay, yeah, I knew she. Yeah, I knew she.
no idea.
Tasha didn't smash Sean until season 2. Ghost slept with Angela first in the season. I never said that he did. She did smash him in season 1. I said she was showing her body parts in season 1, episode 1, which she did. Ghost slept with, he slept with no, he didn't smash Angela episode. What was it, episode 4 when he smashed her? Let me think. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. He first kissed her. What was that? Actually, I don't even think he smashed her. Let me see. Because This Is Real. What episode is This Is Real?
Hey, hold. Wasn't episode 4 when he first told her about having
The
a
kid.
wife and kid? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he ain't smashed her till like an episode or 2 later.
Yeah, exactly. Do I say he didn't smash her? I don't think he smashed her that. He just
She
they
ended up,
kissed her.
yeah. She kept the
But,
necklace for a little bit and then she ended up bringing it back saying she couldn't do it. And then he
so
ended up
This Is
kissing her.
Real. Actually, I think it is 4 when they first smashed, because This Is Real is episode 3. That's when he gave her the necklace, and she gave the necklace back once she, what she tried to give it back. Yeah, it was episode 4 when they first smashed. But either way, like I said, and then I seen somebody in the comment section said, "What about if you a stripper?" Obviously, that's your profession.
Support.
That's what I thought it was. But when she's obviously a housewife, you don't supposed to be doing no shit like that. And then
Can't turn the hoe into a housewife. Hoes don't act right.
And then even if you a stripper and you not on working hours and you do that shit to somebody that's supposed to be a relative, that's cheating too. Your ass ain't on the clock. The fuck you doing? Now, physically, and Tasha cheated first. Just because she didn't have sex, you showing body parts, that's physically. Ghost was the first emotional cheater because we know, even though he didn't do nothing physically with her yet, we know what his intentions were. Who would marry a stripper in the first place besides T Pain? I guess he meant. A lot of folks, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that marrying strippers, porn stars. Shit.
Yeah.
That shit. It ain't. It's not common, obviously, but yeah, we got motherfuckers that do it. What you say?
What does CG mean by dirty? Dirty is.
I was just about to ask him that. When you
Then we all was about that.
Dirtiest exit. What do you mean? Like, I'm guessing you meant like, they got the worst death scene or something like that.
Well,
that would be Dre. Yeah.
I mean, make sure Dre did go out and put him motherfucking back. Which is kind of well deserved, because that was a glad dude.
I got burnt alive.
Julio went out pretty bad too, but I would say getting burnt alive is worse.
You want to see some deaths? Look at all the Queen's men. They got a guillotine and some woman got electrocuted and in an electric
Hold
chair.
on,
They got all
hold on. Because they did chop somebody up and then leave their body parts with all the Primaris after burning them.
Yeah, Charlie Murphy, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, he got did pretty bad too. Do y'all think we will see Paula in Power Legacy?
Remind me, who is Paula?
Paula, as in
She
Davis.
from yeah, his mistress.
Yeah, I mean, maybe since more than likely he's going to be in it. It's a possibility, I guess. Not necessarily most brutal exit, more about how they got did bad by the show writers. Oh, if you want to talk about who got did the worst with the show writers,
Oh, that's Ghost easy.
That's Ghost. That shit was trash. Everybody know that. Like you had the man get taken out by his son. He didn't even get a real death scene. It just had a shit where this nigga fell out, and then this shit was trash. And that's just
Jukebox Mama, that was pretty bad.
yeah, but she actually got a good scene though, kind of.
The only other person I would say is your boy Trevor Nelson.
Trevor Nelson.
Is that the lawyer?
It's
Nah,
Lane.
that's Elaine.
Oh.
I mean, but I don't think that's nowhere near close as what happened with Ghost. I'll even
Now, of
make
course, it's not. Yeah, it's not. That's,
I'll make a case that what happened to Benny was way worse.
you know what? Damn, I forgot about. Yeah.
That shit still hunt me to this day, bro. Like how
Nah,
y'all
you know what? Yeah. I might have to put Benny at number one.
only reason why I would give Ghost
You
number
get
one
Ghost.
because he's the lead character. And they did.
Yeah. But excluding
Benny,
Ghost,
that shit was pretty bad.
excluding Ghost, definitely Benny.
Definitely him, yes. They let this nigga show up to this man's house with a knife and got his ass beat and stabbed by his own knife. What was that? That shit was trash as well. Even Jason's
Big for
thing was
nothing.
weak. It wasn't as bad as Benny, but it was kind of weak. No, Proctor had a good scene. I love Proctor's scene. It wasn't very realistic, but it was a good scene. I still remember that in real time when I first watched it. I still remember it was a good run, Proctor. This ain't fucking over. It is for you. Oh boy, yeah. And then I just love the emotions when he got the call. He talked to Elisa Marie. She asked him, "Are you gonna come later?" And then he's like, "Am I gonna see you?" And he's like, "No, you won't." You picture me.
Another person got done wrong by the writers. Agent Donovan.
Oh yeah.
They ain't had to do him like that.
The special type of bitch ass nigga.
Yeah.
I wanted that to be Tariq's half brother.
Donovan?
Agent Young. No, I thought he was talking about Agent Young. Pauses.
Oh no. Oh yeah. He should be up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
His shit was trash, bro. How you take
They
this
did him
nigga
so
out
wrong.
the first episode, and then he have the damn flash drive, and you never even talk about what the fuck was on it. Yeah, that he went out pretty bad. He in the top 5 for sure. Probably the top 3.
Yeah, Big Grim, Agent Donovan.
I was okay with Big Graham because
I kind
he
of
wasn't that big of a character.
He wasn't built for the game.
And he was too soft, exactly. Even though he was big as hell, he was kind of soft. So there's no way he should have let Dre Like he shouldn't let that.
Man, that was showing real daddy.
Yeah, Sax knowing about the green cards definitely didn't make any sense.
No,
I didn't.
I'll agree with Zeke.
I was just about to say that. Raina was cool. It was shocking, suspenseful. People like, damn, nobody saw it coming. If you didn't see the leak, you didn't really see that coming.
Yeah, and then it had to be done to progress to
Exactly.
read.
Right. So I won't say Raina, but Zeke, yes, I hated the Zeke thing.
Didn't even get a fucking funeral.
Right. He didn't get well, he kind of got a memorial at the school.
Yeah, but that was like months later.
Yeah. But yeah, like just had, this nigga shoot him from the back. And it kind of didn't make sense. Like, nigga, you're not gonna how the hell you confuse him with Mecca? This nigga, first of all, I'm pretty sure he's a great deal taller than Mecca.
Mm-hmm.
That nigga's pretty tall.
He darker than Medgar.
Maybe you can say he didn't see his face because he did have a hoodie on. But his body structure just didn't match Mecca. It just didn't make sense. And then like what
Yeah,
dumbass?
because Melka and Lorenzo built kind of the same.
Yeah, they are. So
I got one that was done dirty, although we don't care nothing about her.
Anya.
Exactly.
As soon as you said we don't care nothing about her, I knew you was going there.
That was excellent.
Yeah, she ain't deserve that.
She did it all, bro. Like Anya was totally in it.
I don't care nothing about her.
I ain't gonna lie, I felt a little something for Anya. Even though I knew it was gonna happen, I called it before the episode aired that it was gonna happen exactly like that. But I felt something for her because she was totally innocent. She did not deserve that.
That was more for the Diana transformation than anything.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole plot device for that.
So I'm with it. I agree that with her saying now Noma knows how it feels. Shot her daughter. I mean, that was legit an eye for an eye. Shot her daughter right in front of her, just like she shot their mom right in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
But the only difference is Monet wasn't innocent. Anya was. Hello. Are you saying Sax went out bad?
Yeah, that wasn't for his character, him being a legacy character. That was kind of.
I actually loved it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna disagree. I loved it.
I could see him
another
get
character.
killed, but to get killed after they didn't recast the brother, the brother half crazy or whatever. It just didn't. It didn't hit right to me for Sax.
I kind of got another person who kind of don't care about her either, but Professor Milgram.
Yeah, she went out bad. That's true.
Monet,
Well, hold on. We can say Jabari too. What about Jabari?
He kind of had to. You're trying to write a book about a drug dealer. How do you think this is gonna end?
Him either.
And then you confront him and ask him that you say you want to write a book about him.
Yeah, you're right. He had to get his ass up out of here.
I like the scene where Milgram was on the witness stand. she was screwing everything.
That's funny. Yeah. Anya was a good example of what could could happen when you leave your kids in the dark. Monet did the same thing Ghost did. Huh? You
Saying
mean
Monet
Noma?
did that with
Noma.
no.
Hold on, Monet.
Well, Monet did that with Zeke. I guess that's where she going with, but yeah, she definitely meant Noma.
Okay. Zach's storyline was wasted in season 1. They teased his family and them then being similar to Braden's family. You saying Ronnie? Yeah, they ain't had to do my boy like that, man. They could let my nigga last another season.
Well,
Throw that over
we
here.
did get a smile out of him. Didn't he smile right before?
Yeah,
he did.
Oh,
shit's bitch, man. We rich.
no.
And then Katie popped his ass.
Rap and roller.
he killed dude with a car door.
Right. Anybody rocking leaves tonight? I know you. Don't matter. I know you.
Dropped his ass one punch.
They gonna give me some Jabos. What you think? Yeah, he fucked his ass up. That was a funny, really weird ass.
Forget about what's her name with the peanut butter sandwich. What was her name?
Oh,
Crystal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she definitely.
Yeah, she got that dirty.
No, y'all, we missing one. Famous, bruh.
That's definitely number one.
That's damn near number one, bro.
That's definitely number one.
Yeah, the writers
definitely number
the
one.
writers really messed that up.
Outside of Ghost, that's definitely number one.
Yeah, outside of Ghost, he's absolutely. I should do a video on this because this is crazy. This is a good little segment that I wasn't planning on having, but yeah, this is crazy.
We didn't even get to see a body.
Nigga didn't have a body. Nigga didn't get seen at all, really, outside of the pre-recordings.
Could have had a body, no face.
Yeah, at least Crystal got a death scene. This nigga didn't even get that. Them folks had a booty ass arm sticking out that wasn't even his.
he was found under a mattress months later.
Right, that shit is crazy. Yeah, that he definitely number one outside of Ghost. That is wild.
But I end up liking how the Crystal character was written, like all in is saying, because we didn't like her at all at first, but then by the time she got killed, it's like she was cool.
This nigga, Kanan didn't even confront his mother over famous. He went to confront her over Crystal.
I think because he really thought Famous was snitching.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But I would love to, hopefully, maybe in season 5 they'll show it to us. Because maybe they're waiting till it's time for the cops or Snaps and Pop death scene to come, and then they'll give us a flashback of what happened to Famous. I'm hoping for that.
Well, really, we know what happened. It happened the same way it did with Crystal.
Yeah, but it'll be nice to see it. See them interrogating him a little bit and stuff. Because they say he was tortured, let us see a little bit of that. And then, they dropped him, they kill him, put him on a mattress or whatever. That was sloppy though. I'm gonna give Raising Kanan's writers a little bit of pushback with that, because it kind of didn't make sense to do that when you could have just buried the body. Like, why put him in a abandoned house with a mattress over?
To make it seem, I guess, to make it seem like it was street related.
Crystal's body was left somewhere too.
Yeah, but they wanted Crystal body to be discovered because they needed to, manipulate Kanan. They didn't want famous body to be discovered. So that's the difference.
What's that cop that Jukebox working with?
Which one? Garcia?
Yeah, you think he gonna end up getting killed next season?
Garcia kind of seemed like I said this before and I'm gonna say it again. He gives me he's the Sax of raising Kanan, so he might survive till Origins.
Because I feel like if he does get too close to finding out who killed Crystal and Famous,
Snapping
something's
pop.
gonna happen.
Doing.
hmm If not snapped and pop, the other cops that's working for him, just gonna do it on their own. And you know what? I think that's how snaps and pop may get caught up.
That's how Juke will probably be able to connect the dots.
Because
I can see that.
snap, yeah, because she did say they were sloppy.
Yeah.
And them killing him would be a sloppy move.
I hope Kanan and Rock get snapping pops together like they did Ronnie. I would love to see that too. We're not seeing famous on screen death. Crystal Death answers that for us. We've seen her tortured before she got smoked. We really didn't see her get tortured. We just seen her in the room.
She was chained up.
Yeah, but we didn't see her get tortured.
She looked beat up though.
She looked beat up, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't see it. It was hours after it happened.
She famous looked like he got the hell beat out of him. That arm alone let us see that. But
well, he was a 3-month-old corpse. He wasn't even recognizable.
Right. Was the actor that played famous on bad terms with the writers? Seems almost like an insult the way they had him go out. A lot of people was saying that, but Antonio himself came out and said no. He said him and 50 did have a little bit of hiccup after season 1, but he was like, he let me do 3 more seasons after that. So
he was supposed to have been gone.
So
he's supposed to be killed off in season 1.
So yeah, I don't know if I'll say that's the case. They just maybe decided to do that. Maybe it's a budget thing. They decided like we're gonna cut this nigga and cut the budget.
And then I always felt like famous had to have a brutal death for Kanan to become OG Kanan.
Right. Me personally, I would have been fine with famous getting life in jail instead of dying. The fan theory of him being the random nigga. Y'all just wanted to be right about that. And I told y'all that wasn't him. y'all kept pushing that bullshit.
Man, the way famous was, he would have got killed in jail. He was too soft, and they would have seen that shit. They would have had fun with famous.
Told y'all there was some ugly ass shit. Boom, 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 boom. Anyway, though, y'all, it's been 3 hours now. I'm definitely about to close this shit out. I like that little segment that we had at the end, though, but I gotta get this stuff ready for tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out. Be back up for the morning thing at 10:30. Then I got some more individual videos to put out. Back at it for the night show again tomorrow. So appreciate everybody stop through. I'm about to go ahead and check out.
All right.
All right,
Yeah,
man.
good.
Catch up tomorrow.
All right.